Hello and welcome. This is Alicia from the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. As you're hopping on, please say hello. I'm just going to angle my device up here and say welcome. Let me go down here and see if I can get my secondary device, the comments up. And it looks like that is going to work okay. So please say hello. As you're hopping on, let me know that you're there. I see 2 people are on. Just so I know I'm headed in the right direction and I can switch the comments off. Get this board the right way. Just say hello. Hello, Jarita. How are you? How are you today? Thank you for being the first to say hello. Okay, there we go. So I think I've got everything right, I hope. Yep, there's the comments. They're a little delayed, but they're there. Hello, Becky. Hello, Donna. Hi, Sherry. How are you? April should be hopping on here any minute. But hello, and welcome. And as you're hopping on, please make sure to sprinkle. I'm doing good, a little chilly, probably like everybody else. Hi, April. Hi, Casey. We had actual temperature 0, but it was -11 this morning, the real feel. So it's super cold. Hi, Danica. Hi, Donna. Hi, Cindy. So I'm sure it's cold everywhere. I hear even in Florida. One of my friends in Pensacola, she got snow the other day in Pensacola, Florida. So I feel bad for them. It's probably melted as soon as it touched the ground, I'm sure. But nonetheless, that's got to be insulting. Hi, Pamela. How are you? So today we're going to do a really pretty stencil. It is stencil number 4076, and it's a medium. I'm using the size medium. You can order any size you want, but this is what size I'm using. And today, just like always, it's going to be 20% off today and tomorrow. If you use my code SIGNSHACK, which is SIGNSHACK, you can save 15% on your order, and that'll be on your total order. Hi, Angelia. How are you? Hi, Donna. So you would save that on your total order, and you can use that any time of of course, if there's a sale code, use that if it's better, but anytime you can use my code SIGNSHACK and save 15%, and I appreciate it. So that's the stencil we're doing. The link is in the description above, so after the live this will post. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Maureen. And you can, after the live, it'll post. It takes like a minute or 2, and the link will be there, and you can click on that as well. Hi, Patty. How are you? Hi, Maureen. Sherry. Oh, my -40. We're going to be cold, but I don't think we're going to be that cold, Sherry. We're -11 today, but this weekend's another story. So probably what you're getting now, we're getting Saturday. It's like the actuals are supposed to be -10 or 15, something like that. Something crazy. So anyhow, as you're hopping on, please say hello. Please make sure to sprinkle. To sprinkle means to do this. Write it in the comments so we know you sprinkled. And a lot of you already know. And this is the giveaway today. It's a super cute mini. It's a little daisy. Bloom where you are planted, which I think is just beautiful. It's such a nice saying. So bloom where you are planted. A little daisy on it, and just simply sprinkle. Anything under 70 degrees. I agree with you. Like, honestly though, I would be happy for a 40 right now. Hi, Vicky. Thank you. A 40 would be really nice. So ahead of time, of course, to save time, I'm going to angle you down a little bit here. And I'll probably have to move this board back and forth, or I may have to move my device to my other ring light. But let me get my now I just did this on putting the stencil down and adding some things. Daisies are your favorite. Well, we're going to be painting some daisies today. So I used a 1x10 and I cut it 41 inches long. So it's a 1x10 cut 41 inches long. So just like so. And then down here, now I did this because I've already cut little roofs for this, but you see these little holes I've drilled out? I'm going to be putting dowel rods in there to make it look kind of like a birdhouse with daisies around it, around the hole. So I think it's going to be a super cute project. It's not too hard to do. I think I used a 5/16 drill bit on this, and I did put a piece of tape. A tip to you is when you're drilling something and you don't want to go through the back of the board like that, put a piece of tape on your drill bit. Like this is 3/4 of an inch. So I put a piece of painter's tape at a 1/2 inch on the drill bit. So when I went down in the wood and that painter's tape reached the wood, I knew not to drill any further or it would go through the wood. The same with this one. That way you won't go through the wood. Mark it with painter's tape. It helps me a lot. And then I just simply, you might need a different size. You might need a different size drill because drill bit. I use 5/16. I don't know what size my dowel rod is. I just had it laying around, but this is the dowel rod, and I cut 2 of them about 3 inches, I think. So I cut those ahead of time. So basically, I put my drill bit up to it, saw that it matched. The first one was a little too, thank you. The first drill bit, I went a little too small, so I knew I could go a little bit bigger, but I'd rather go small than bigger, because bigger you can't really reverse. So once it's gone, it's gone. And then I simply used, this is the roof I'm going to be putting on. And these are those big painter sticks, not the little ones, not the regular ones that you get for painting, but the real big, long painter sticks that you can buy. And I cut them at a 45, and then I cut the other end going the other way at a 45. And then you have a nice little roof. So basically, that's how I decided how long I wanted my board, by doing all this stuff ahead of time. And I even made little templates of the daisies that I'm going to use for placement. So I knew ahead of time, like where I wanted to drill everything. So like templates and stuff like that, it does help. So this is the stencil that's on sale today. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I think it is so cute. So love grows best in little houses just like this. And we have a little house. We always thought about, I put a hole right through a live edge sign. Oh, Patty, I'm so sorry. Live edge is not cheap either. That's a shame. Yeah, it's a really good tip. Make sure you go, if you can, so that was like a 1/4 of an inch shy, and put that tape on it, and that'll help you from, not going through it. I better put my little roof away or I'm gonna lose it. So this is the stencil. It's super beautiful. We'll see, Sherry, we'll see. I think I am, but you know me, it could, I have my water out here today. I have my drinking water and my water to rinse my brushes in. I might be good today, Sherry. I don't know. It's early yet. So I love the font on this. I love everything about this. But I think I was saying we live in a smaller, like a craftsman style home. It was built in 1935. And let's see how I'm going to do this. I think perhaps I'll move it. I've got another ring light here. Maybe I'll move it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I will move it. Let me see if I can move this without making you ill and messing something up. Gotta go down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's going to be better. I've got a couple ring lights out here, so at least this way it'll be facing this. Get a whole nother angle of my mess that way. So we're gonna start, and I just simply put this, I painted it in 2 coats. This is black, coal black from Fusion Mineral. I buy a big jar of the Fusion Mineral, like in black and the white, because I use it a lot, and I really, really like it for signs. They're like my go-tos for backgrounds lots of times. But let me just I'm going to get a 1/2 inch stencil brush out here, and I'm going to get some tape as well. But anyhow, you know what? Now I am super glad we didn't move, because my kids are all gone. My dad does live with us, but it's just the perfect size for us. It's not a huge amount to clean, and it works for us. So this is our plate. I'm going to be putting some warm white on here. I'm trying to get rid of all this. So this is Deco Arts. Oh, you're welcome, Susan. We're glad you're here. I got a little bit left in 2 of them. So I'm trying to use it up before I open a new one. So this is Deco Arts. Oh, I'm going to have to readjust myself for the camera. Deco Arts Warm White. And I will list the colors tomorrow that I used. Since Facebook has started turning my lives into reels, and they only last for 30 days, they won't let you go back and edit. So I hope this is going to be an okay view. I can bring it down. Let's see. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so when you're stenciling, if you're new to stenciling, you just pick up, you have a dry brush, and you're basically dry brushing, and you pick up a little bit of paint on your brush. Hi, Nancy, how are you? Sign of the times. It's nice to see you. I'll have to make sure, I think I follow you, but I'll have to make sure I follow you. Hi, Denise. So anyhow, you get your paint on your brush, and you can see where it's maybe a little bit gooky. You just want to be on the tip of your brush, and you're going to offload. I like to use shop towels. You can use this kind of brown paper. You could use coffee filters. Paper plates aren't the greatest, I don't think, because they're very slick. You want something that's going to absorb the paint a little bit. And I like to swirl, so we're just going to start swirling. Yeah, now I'm stenciling sideways. Usually I stencil towards you guys, upside down. But this is so long, I thought I'd try it this way so we could perhaps see the whole board. You just have to ignore my mess, though, if you see it all around me. I got a lot of stuff going on. See, I have my computer here. You can see a little bit in the live. I have to do that so I can watch in real time to make sure. It's funny how they change things. On Facebook, you used to be able to have this little tool. It was like a little wrench, and you just hit it, and it reversed image everything. So when I filmed it, hi, Jennifer. You had to, thank you, Becky. You could just hit that little wrench and everything was good to go. You didn't have to do anything else. And you just had to have 2 devices. Well, now that they've taken that tool away, why, I have no idea. I don't know if they're trying to discourage people from getting away from lives and doing reels, more reels, like a TikTok kind of feel, or Instagram. I'm not quite sure. But anyhow, it was super easy. Well, now I have to have 3 devices, and I have to turn my camera backwards and use the rear camera to get the words to face you the right way. Like, I don't want to do a whole live and all the words be reversed on you. So, and then I've been uploading, if you haven't yet, I do have a page on YouTube, or a channel, I guess, and it's called Shard and Sign Shack, and all the lives I do from here, after I do the live, while I'm out here fiddling around, I download it and I upload it to YouTube. So they're there if you want to go back and look at them, because now they're only on Facebook for 30 days. And I've got some older ones on there that people have asked me to load. Eventually I'll get the old ones on there. I just haven't had a chance. Hi Tammy, how are you? So now you have to like jump through hoops, and I did a live on YouTube on Saturday, and I did that cute little snowman on the glass box, which, by the way, if you saw it, I guess Michaels and Hobby Lobby sell glass blocks with holes drilled in them, which I didn't know. I don't get out that much. I really don't. I like going to Hobby Lobby, but I just don't. It's 10 miles from here, which is not a lot, but it just never seems to work out. It's between my dad's breakfast or lunch or dinner or something is coming up, or we have grandkids. So, but anyhow, they said you can get the glass blocks there. Hi, Gay, how are you? Hi, 9 from cold and snowy Southwest. Yeah, I saw that Michigan, I don't know where it was, had a horrible pileup. I think it was yesterday, 100-car pileup. I hope everybody was okay. It looked really bad. It looked like there were a lot of trucks involved. So I'm just going to give this a quick dry. Every time I've gotten more paint on my brush, just so you know if you're new, I've offloaded it onto that little shop towel. Just like that. And I'm going to do a second coat. And once we get this on, and we'll close the bridges, we're going to, let's see how we're doing. I might wait to close the bridges. I don't know. I think I'll wait and close the bridges at the end if I have time. I think we're going to have plenty of time during this live, because it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's not like a lot of different things, and not a lot of overlays or anything like that. But I thought this would be really cute, and I just love this saying. It's really pretty. I'm going to do that all white. I'm doing the letters in white, Sherry. Yes, I'm not just basing, which what Sherry's asking, if you're new, hi Arlene, if you're new to stenciling, if you stencil on black, lots of times you have to base it in a white or a gray. I prefer Deco Arts slate gray for base coating. The best. So if I was going to base coat, I would probably do a gray, even though it would need another brush to wash. But if you don't do it on black, your paint doesn't pop as well on black. It takes a lot more paint and oomph to reach that level of where you want to be with your paint. It just doesn't, it's hard to get it to pop on not only black, but like on a dark blue, a really, really dark red, like any really dark colors. If you're having trouble with your colors popping, do a base coat of a gray or a white. The gray is more forgiving. It doesn't have, sometimes with the white, you have a stark line that'll stand out from doing that. So a lot of people don't like to base coat in white. It doesn't really bother me. I think sometimes it gives it a little extra added highlight, like it's, you were really smart and put that there, but you didn't. Yes, I can, if you message me, I'll post them after, let's see, I think I was down here, after the live. I actually just had to buy 2 new, well, I only meant to buy 1. Somehow I ended up buying 2. I don't know if I put 1 in my cart. I'd been putting it off after I got through Christmas and stuff. And then I just realized I had so many Christmas and winter stencils that I had to get another portfolio. And I'll show them to you in just a minute. I've got an empty one right here next to me. But they're really great for storage. I can, hi Julie. Oh, I'm so happy you could too. I hope you're feeling well today and everything's going good. So we're just swirling this in here. I'm a swirler. I did have to dab on the glass block like that. Not a fan, but had to be because the swirling just kind of pushed the paint around. Similar to like if you did this and you didn't wait for your paint to dry in between layers or dry it with a gun, a heat gun or hair dryer, whatever you want, you would, it would cause a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So, what it does is the paint's still wet underneath. So as you're swirling on top of it, it just pushes the paint around and then pretty soon you have like a bald spot there. Is the only way I know how to put it because it takes all your paint off rather than putting it on when you don't let it dry in between. You know what I mean? You use the same portfolios. They are amazing. I love them. They're really, really good. Yeah, we've got a lot of snow, but it's so cold I don't want to go out and do anything. I don't want to go for my walks. I've been walking in place in my house because I'm like, ooh, I don't know. -1 is not enticing me. So I'm going to take a peek at this. I do store my brushes in a baggie with a wet wipe while I'm stenciling. I don't let them sit overnight or anything like that. But I just want to take a peek. And that looks good. That looks dark enough to me. So we've got this pretty love grows in little houses just like these, just like this, not these. And I'm going to set that aside. And that is the stencil that is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. I'm going to have to do a little touch up there. I got some white there. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. Now that we've done that, and we will do the bridges if we have time. I mean, I'll do them after the live, but I only like to keep you guys so long. Like I fill it an hour and a half. You guys are like, oh my gosh. So what I did next was I did pre-drill my holes and stuff. So let's kind of bring it down like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my roof. And I'm going to put it on here like this. Okay. So that's how I know where I want this. I'm going to dry brush with a chippy brush in red and leave the black behind it. You're supposed to get a large snowstorm this weekend. That stinks. I'm so sorry for you. So I'm going to put those about right there. And I might dry brush a little something on this too, so it's not so solid. I'm not sure. But let's get my, do I have my chalk pencil out here? I don't. Darn it, I probably have it in the house. We were using it when we were cutting some boards the other day. Okay, so I'll just use a pencil. But I'm going to kind of mark this roof line. Darn it, I wish I knew where my... Hopefully that'll show up. That didn't even show up. I don't know where my... I have two really nice chalk pencils. I'm going to blame Jeff. I'll bet he put them somewhere. Okay, let me try it again. I'm going to put these here. I think that's about where I want them. Okay, they marked that time. And I'm marking those because I want to paint red up to that. So I'm going to be using Fort York Red. And this is Fuchsia Mineral. This is my favorite red. I use this a lot. Hi, Winnie from Indiana. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for sprinkling. I don't want to get a big glob out here. Oh no. Oh, I bet. I bet I put it in here. No? I did not. Okay. So you see how dingy I am? I put the paint in there, and I don't know if you can see the tabs in there. I never took the seal off. I don't want to waste the paint. So I have this big chip brush here, and that's what I'm going to be using. But let me get my razor knife and pull that out of here. Thank you for sprinkling, Winnie. So is anybody embracing this cold and loving it? I am not. Okay, so that's the problem. That's why nothing would come out. So silly me. That's always helpful if you take the little thing off. So let's just put a little bit of red in there. And I have this chip brush. And they last a long time, these chip brushes. And I have drawn where I want my roof to go. But I'm just going to get some paint on my brush. Kind of dabbing it on there. And I'm going to leave some black showing through. Oh, I went way too far. I got carried away. Let me get a rag. So there's nothing that you can't fix. Usually, unless it's fabric, then you're like, oops. So let me just take a wet wipe here, and wipe that away. I should have only went to there. See, I got carried away doing my swipes, and went right past my line I drew. I'm going to blame it on it being hard to see, but I just got carried away is all. So I'm not offloading this or anything. I'm just kind of loading my brush up. So you can see it's loaded up. Makes a really, really nice effect. But with this black underneath it, it makes it look like it's weathered, putting this red over it. And it's a simple, simple technique. Let's see if I can turn it more. There we go. So it's, there we go. Go down maybe a little bit. I'm trying to get the whole thing in. When you do longer things, it's hard to get it in the camera. And it's definitely, now see how this red does dull down as bright as it is? And that's because there's no white underneath it. That's kind of how your paint does if you don't put a base layer of something on it. But we're just going to get probably one layer of this red here. I might dab a little bit. The least love that winter is, I at least love, yes, I do love, I know you've had some cold weather I see down in Florida, Stacy. And yeah, I do love the soups and the chilies. It's hard to get excited about soups and chilies in the summer. I do like summer though, because Jeff grills out a lot. And then I don't have to cook. It's like, can't we just throw something on the grill? I know he's just the opposite. I think he's happy when winter comes and he's like relieved of his duty. And it's been so cold, he hasn't been, we keep our grill in the, right off the garage so we could grill if we want, but it has been way too cold. I would never expect him to go out and grill something in this weather. So we're just giving it that chippy look, leaving some of that black showing behind it on this birdhouse, this little birdhouse. You want me to dry brush a little white on it? I can. I'll have to dry it though, Sherry, because it'll turn pink. Red and white together are not fun. And I'm going up to the peak there. The wood will cover some of it, but I'm trying to kind of stay in my lines where I have that roof at. There we go. So we could add a little bit of white in this, but we're going to have to dry it definitely. So let's give it a little dry, and we'll try a little bit of white in it. Let's give it a quick dry here. Near freezing or freezing. Did you get any snow, Stacy? You're right. Sherry told me don't forget the sides. So let me get this a little dry here, and I'll put some red on the sides. I'm lucky I have you girls to tell me when I'm messing up. Because it happens a lot. And usually if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong on a live. It doesn't matter. So if you haven't yet, make sure to sprinkle. This is going to be the giveaway today. Bloom where you are planted. Bloom where you are planted. And I got to get it really good and dry. All you have to do is sprinkle and write sprinkled in the comments. I lost a bristle there. That is one thing about the Stencil Smith brushes. You don't lose any bristles at all, but boy, these chip brushes, sometimes you lose any. You lose them. You don't want to... You've had it before a couple times. Yeah, my dad had a place in Titusville, and it was like almost always so nice there. Of course, I never went. The latest we went was June. We did go in June one time to get him when he stayed there. So let's take this red and go down the sides of my house too. I need to put my little roof back up. And I'm just going to kind of go where the peak stops. And I'll just bring some down the side so it looks like your house is continued. It just doesn't end at the edge. And I'll have to dry that real quick. You need about 8 arms. Oh, you live in Tennessee though. Tennessee is beautiful, Kimberly. Where do you live in Tennessee? "15 inches of snow in Texas? Wow. You're wintering in Florida. 40's the last 40 in Florida feels different. Well, yeah, you get used to that warm weather. I'll give you that. Especially if you're by the ocean and you get the winds. Oh, thank you, Tammy. That's quite a compliment. I appreciate that. Tammy is a fellow crafter, and she is one of the most excellent colorists that I've ever seen. Her work is just phenomenal. It's so pretty. I've been dabbling a little bit in watercolor just to try it. But I haven't gotten very far because I can't catch up on any of this stuff. But it looks like fun. My mom did watercolor, and her teacher, we've got several of her paintings hanging in the house, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so we got some on the side. I'm going to add a little bit of white while those sides dry. 2 hours east of Gatlinburg, right? Are you in the mountains, Kimberly? We've been to Gatlinburg. I'm trying to think. In Tennessee, we were in... Where did we go in Tennessee? Trying to think. We were in... My sister lived in... Where did Heather live? Tullahoma. She lived in Tullahoma. That's where she lived for a while. So we'd go there, and I really like that area. We've been to the Cumberland Gap. We've been down, I forget the name of Chattanooga, went to the Moon Pie place. So let's get another chip brush and we'll add a little bit of white in here. Hopefully it's dry enough and we don't go pink. Just a little bit of white. I don't want to add too much because my daisies are going to be white. Just a little bit. And that little bit, look how that's just adding some definition and it looks even more weathered. Isn't that amazing how it does that? And I don't want to forget going over the holes and getting the sides. But just that wee little bit that we did looks so cool. Look at that. That's amazing. You have an aunt and cousin in Tullahoma. He's already gone, Sherry, or I'd tell him. He's like, I'm out of here before she asks me to do something. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the snow. It's just that we get so darn much. Like the other day, it was the biggest snowstorm we'd had in a while. And we got 18 inches in under 24 hours. And it was a lot. It was an awful lot. Okay. And then, ooh, I hope it didn't. I shouldn't have my tissue paper there, but I was using it when I was painting my glass block. Okay, so look how pretty that looks. That looks so nice, I think. What do you girls think? So we've got our little house going, and I'm going to show you with the up close. See how weathered it looks with the black and the white. And I am going to put, I think I'm going to add a little bit of white. I got to turn my heat gun on. I am going to use wood glue too. But you know what? I think I'll do my daisies first before I add anything. Before I add the roof, because I think it'll be easier to paint. So I'm using this stencil. It is not on sale. And somebody, I can't remember who, just did the most beautiful. Yeah, it looks like a weathered barn. It's so neat. Ooh, mine should be coming in a day or two. Thank you, Becca. Hello. So this is stencil number 9884. And I can't remember who did this, but they did the most beautiful job with these flowers. And then they put butterflies at the bottom. It was so pretty. I'm sorry, I'm holding it the wrong way. Usually I hold it this way for the camera, and I forgot we're going sideways. So sorry. So, top sale. I have been to, I think it's in North Carolina. We went to Wilmington and we went to Southport. That was beautiful. So we're going to put a couple daisies here, and they're going to be the little knot holes. But this is number, now this one is not on sale, but you can save 15% with my code sign check. So it's 9884 and it's a medium. So I'm going to try and line them up so that one petal's going that way. And I'm going to tape it down. Painter's tape is your friend. And I'm going to kind of go around because I don't want to get sloppy and go into the vines. I'm just doing the flowers. But it was really pretty, whoever did this. So, so pretty. I better put a little bit more tape. I know I'll get careless. Oops. I had my tape on one of my labels there. I could probably be pretty careful and miss it, but I'm afraid I'm going to be talking and looking at the comments and I'm going to go, whoops. So let's get my brush that has white on it. And we're going to do a white daisy. And I think I'm going to do a yellow center, but I'm just going to have the yellow a little bit on the outside, and we're going to go dark, dark, maybe to black, you know, like it's the hole on the inside, is what I'm thinking in my head. I don't know how it'll look on here, but we'll see. So let's get this white out and we're going to offload. Just like so. And we're just going to start swirling around the daisy because the bird's got to have a pretty place to sleep, right? And why not a little daisy around your knot hole, right? And I'm just swirling that around here. And that is such a dark red. I think I'm going to do a coat of white in the middle too. Before I put my yellow down. That's what I mean about base coating. That's a very bright red. The miter, oh, you got a miter saw? That's awesome. And a table saws really scare me. I don't ever get the table saw out unless, I'll tell you what though, Lita, make sure whatever you do, don't wear anything baggy while you're cutting, like a loose shirt or something like that. Make sure you have tight sleeves on or short sleeves. It was you. Oh, let me go back. Kathy Seacrest. It was Kathy. Yeah, it was so pretty. Kathy, that was beautiful. And it was funny because I had just pulled that out this morning to use on this project, and I went on, I'm like, that looks familiar. It's funny how that happens, and everybody does everything so differently. And it's just amazing. Always make sure that you're offloading in between. Anytime you pick up paint, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart there. I started going off thinking about something else in my head. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing live here. I can't stop. Can't stop talking. Then we'd have awkward silence, right? I know I was talking about Saturday. What was I was asking about? I had something out here, but we got into the like things you carried like in middle school. So I graduated in '83, and some of the things that we had were like everybody had the Jordache jeans, and everybody had, do you remember the big comb, if you're from that era, that big comb with the big handle, and you'd put it in your back pocket? You had to have that, definitely. So I'm going to give this a little dry there, and I'm going to do a yellow in here. I think I'm going to go with moon yellow. I was thinking about baby duck, but I think I just am drawn to this moon yellow, and I use it a lot for highlighting too, and I think it's really pretty yellow. Whenever you have a little bit on a brush and you just put it somewhere, it real lightly, it'll make it look like it's glowing. Moon yellow does. It's really pretty. And these are Deco Arts, so I'm offloading again. And I'm going to do this yellow, and I'll let it dry, but then I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to do maybe a gray, like a dark gray. I pulled a gray. Maybe I'll just go around the sides like it's a shadow. I'm trying to decide. Ooh, I don't want to pull that out. So let's go back, and I'm going to give this one more coat of white. And I think I am going to sand this just a bit so it looks a little bit rustic. You graduated in '82, '82. Yes, Angelia remembers. Oh, it's a table stand for the miter saw to stand on. Okay. Yeah, tables, Patty's 1979. My husband was 1977. The 70s. The cover of his yearbook is, I'm going to do another coat of yellow here. Is the Pink Floyd Prism from Dark Side of the Moon. That was the cover of their yearbook that year. I think they had a bunch of hippies in that class. My husband had long hair. So that was the year, or the error. Of course, my grandson, he just had to cut. I was so scared when they told me that he works at a paintball place, and he's 16, and he was burning cardboard, and thank God he didn't get hurt, but he had no supervision, and he used gas on the fire. And I guess it singed a little bit of his hair. Well, he had a mullet, and it was horrible. It looked awful. Mullets don't look good on anybody. I apologize if you have a mullet. Class is 72, 78, and but he had to go get his hair cut, and he looks so nice. But it did scare me. I think I'm going to use a little bit of graphite, and I'm going to go around the edges of this yellow with it, like it's kind of like a shadow with a really, really dry brush, and then I'm going to sand it just a little bit. I don't know how this is going to look. We will see. We will see. Oops. I need a stencil brush. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit smaller one. I'm going to pick up a little bit. This is Deco Arts, and it's graphite, I think is what I grabbed. Graphite. And I'm just going to kind of, like, I'm taking a lot of it off, and I'm going to kind of go around this, kind of like it's a shadow, like of a hole. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I may have to add more to it. I think I'm going to get a little bit more. I'm going to lightly draw it through there, through that yellow, real light. But it's going to be darker around the edges. And I think I'm going to draw a little bit of this graphite through the daisy too. Kind of grunge it up a little bit with that weathered look that we've got going on here. And then I'm going to sand it. And I'm kind of pulling it all in the same direction. I probably could get a chip brush and do that. But I want it to be just a little bit grungy because the barn, I don't want it to be like this real bright, shiny thing. Because the barn is really weathered looking, so it would look kind of silly. So I'm kind of grunging it up here with just a little bit of this graphite. And it looks kind of cool. It looks dirty, grungy, as you can see. So it's not so bright. And like I said, we'll take a sander over it, but we're going to do another one down here. And I'm going to do the same one. And I'm just like lining it up with that daisy. And I'm going to bring it down. So it's about the same place as the other one. Class of 90. Oh, you're so young, Kimberly. Yeah, I could use a little brush, you're right. So let's go back and do this daisy. You're just a young'un. And I'm going to get some more white. Make sure I have it lined up where I want it. I do. Are you in? Are we in the can? Yeah, okay. I had to find my right device there. Class of 91. Oh my gosh, you guys are so young. You're like my sister's age. My sister, I was class 83, and my sister Heather, who I often talk about, or you'll see me with, of Sawdust Dogs, she was 93, so she's 10 years younger than me. Almost to the day. I thought it was so cool when she was born. She was like the best little present. Okay, and let's give this a dry again. So you're a baby in this world, but anyways, their stencils are amazing, aren't they, Tammy? And that's where I need to, I always forget something. So if you're just meeting me or you're new on this page, please let me know. And don't ever feel afraid to reach out to me or to April, either one, with any questions, because sometimes I do miss them in the comments, and would be super glad to answer anything for you, as I know April would be. But I have been the ambassador for the Stencil Smith for 3 years now. They're this wonderful company, and they are out of Columbus, Ohio, and I'm in Ohio as well. So I'm in northeastern Ohio, and they're in central Ohio, and they are a husband and wife team. They're a true small business, and everything that they buy is made in America. All the materials they use, everything. All their stencils are cut to order. So like the stencil I used up here was a medium. You could get a large. I don't know what sizes there are, honestly, off the top of my head, but usually there's quite a few sizes. And if there's a size that doesn't work for you, you could always ask April to make it for you, because they have the ability. And I think if it doesn't look weird, she can make it. She'll go ahead and make it for you. Need to, you know, I didn't do the white underneath that yellow, but that's okay. It did real good nonetheless. Okay, I'm going to get some yellow here. Put that in my baggie. Oh no. Now I got to get a new brush, right? Is that yellow? Yeah, yellow. Okay. I just offloaded on my white. Hopefully that won't make too much of a difference. Get another. Little, and again I'm going to get that graphite, and I think I might get a small little chip brush and draw some through it. I have a small one. That's not really a chip brush though. So I'm just giving it a quick dry here. I guess I don't have any super small ones. And let me just add a little bit of that graphite, that shading around, grunge it up. Feel like I didn't get enough off. I have my oil diffuser running right now. I love that thing. I've got cinnamon cloves going usually all the time. Sometimes I do peppermint in it, but I love the smell of it. I'm going to try a little bit of this chip brush, and I'm going to kind of, there we go, I'm going to kind of draw it over it just to give it more of a weathered look with that graphite. You know what? Let's take this off and do it. and you're not really seeing it in the red, and it's not going to affect, but look how weathered that starts to make it look. So we're kind of grunging it up there. Because we don't want to have, even though I like bright sunny daisies, we don't want to have a big bright one. Might have to get a little bit more. Ooh, I don't like, see, I got too much on that one. I don't like that. Find my wet wipe. And again, wet wipe's your best friend. That was like a little too much there. I didn't like that. And you might want your daisies to be real bright. But I think with the wood looking so weathered, they would look odd. If they were super bright, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's put this to the side, and I might put, I think I'm going to put a little bit of the white. I need to get some more maybe white out, that warm white. And I wanted to put it, I got my hot glue gun going. Nope, that white, warm white, I might have finally reached the end of that. Okay, let's, I know I have another one here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of this warm white. And these, so these are going to go, I'm probably going to have to lift you back up again. Let's see which way. It's going to go that way and that way. I'm going to weather these up just a little bit too. And I might add some graphite in that, or maybe some beige. Maybe just a little bit of beige in that. Let me get, I have some bleach sand here, and this is Deco Arts. So I'm going to get a little bit out. Not too much on my brush. And I'm going to turn that white down a little bit. And I should do my sides too. You don't want your, you want everything to look a little weathered. And I think that bleached sand looks good on it. It's a little bit of a off-white, but that'll make the roof look a little weathered too. Get the sides here. What do you think? Do you like that? Like that? What brand of oil? What brand of oil do I use? Now, you can order it on Amazon. So there's Now Clove and Now, I don't know if you can see those, cinnamon. But that's what it's called, Now Essential Oils. I burn those a lot. It smells like fall out here all the time. People walk in, they're like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. So I do have, so we need to glue this down. The little thing. And again, these are just those large paint sticks. And I need to put these in here. The little dowel rods. I did not paint those. I was undecided whether I was going to paint them or not. I have to get, I don't know if I can get this open or not. I might have to get, hold on, I gotta get a couple pliers. I'm gonna put some wood glue on it too. Along with my hot glue. Let me just get pliers. Sorry, guys. Where are my pliers? Can I use these? Okay, I use that to open it. Huh. Oh, there we are. Right, pliers. Sorry about that. I had to go over to the other toolbox. So if you have trouble getting your wood glue up, that always helps. So I'm going to put some hot glue because it'll seal it instantly, but also some wood glue. I've had my hot gun or my glue gun. And so I'm going to put, and this is really good wood glue. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on it so it'll adhere instantly, because wood glue does have to set. So let's see, let's get this. I think I wanted it like that, and get the other one just like that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, the roof definitely needed it. After I weathered the barn, I was like, yeah, that's just not gonna fly. So let's get some wood glue. And just a couple dabs here and there. To make it. Oh, you know, I don't know why I went all the way down with the wood glue. Huh. I'll have to scrape that off probably. Okay, I didn't need to go that far down on the board. Made no sense to. Okay. So those are nice and tight. So we got our little roof on. I'm going to put just a little bit of wood glue in these holes where the dowel rods are going to go, and they're pretty tight. Oh, did I lose my little dowel rods? Okay, guys. Oh no. The stress. They're here. It's just where. There they are. Whew. That scared me, guys. Okay, so let's come down a little bit more to here, and we're going to put, let's see, I wanted to put the dowel rods and push it in there real good. Oh no, that one's not going in. Let's try this side. That's weird. There we go. Almost need a hammer on that one. That one was really tight. And once that wood glue sets in there, that'll set up real nice. I might take some brown and like grunge this up somehow, or the gray maybe. I'm not sure. And I did think it would be cute if I can find my little bag of Spanish moss. I thought we'd put a little, thank you guys. See, you could see it, but I couldn't because it was over here. I'm a mess. I got to get a drink now. That was stressful. I can always count on you guys. I have a little bit of Spanish moss left from a couple projects. And I thought I would put maybe just a little bit up here on the roof. I'm like, oh, I didn't want to go to Walmart I was like, I think I can make that little bit of Spanish moss work. I had some left over from another project. Maybe get a little bit down here. I feel like I need a little bit right there. And I might put a little bit, we'll see. That's not going to really stay there very good. Let's see. Okay. And then I thought about putting maybe just a dab. Don't know if I should put it down there. I'm not going to put any on the daisies. I'm going to put maybe a little bit more right there. And of course, some of this is going to fall off. This stuff's all entwined. Okay. So let's get this Spanish moss off of here. I don't want to burn myself with this gun. It's horrible. Okay, so I am, let's see. It's 5 after. I'm going to show you how to do a couple of the bridges if you're new, which I need to wipe the glue off the back before it sticks all over everything. Because remember, I glued down. So note to you guys, don't glue plast. You could probably put it on there and mark where you don't need to glue. That was just not thinking. Okay. So we're going to do, I'll show you how to do the cursive there. I really like doing the cursive, closing the bridges. You don't have to close the bridges if you don't want to. Let's see if we can bring you up here a little bit, and I'll bring the sign down just a bit. Turn my hot glue gun off. If anybody's got one of those Ryobi hot glue guns, they are super easy to burn yourself with. Okay, so let's see, little. So I'm going to get one of my Stencil Smith brushes, and you do not have to do this. And I may take my little gator sander. I'm not going to do it right now. Let's see if I have any. So before I close bridges, sometimes I do like to especially give it a little sand, especially around where the bridge area is, because it knocks it down a little bit. Because there could be a little ridge there, and it makes it more noticeable. But you take your paint, and I just dab a little bit on my brush and tap it off. Sometimes I even wet it first. Not that you want a super wet brush or anything, but the paint's been sitting there, so it's gotten a little thick. And I start from over here, and I go towards me. Thank you, Angelia. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, the Ryobi glue gun, it will burn you up. So you just start taking your brush and work it around. And white is the hardest paint to match. Sometimes you can do this and then go get your stencil and go back over it and it matches better. Sometimes another tip is to distress it. So I am probably going to distress this wording just a little bit just because the rest of the sign is distressed. But you're just closing these little bridges. And I will tell you this, it does make it flow. It makes the words flow much better, especially the script. It makes it look really pretty and fluid. And it doesn't take super long, but like I said, white can be, you put it down and you'd be like, oh, what did I do? But you just got to work with it. White is hard. Kind of blend it in a little bit. And of course, if I take sandpaper over it, especially this is just packing paper right here. I'm sorry, I keep going like this because my camera's always there. And it will, it sands a little bit, but it doesn't take like a lot off or anything. So you just close those little bridges. And like I said, go from the outer edge inward because you'll be putting your hand in paint. And I say this every live. The reason I tell you that is because I've done it quite a few times. And finally, I think, knock on wood, I think I finally got it figured out. So that's all it is to close your bridges. And like here, let me rinse my brush out. Don't ever leave your liner brushes in the water. You can leave your stencil brushes for a little bit. But I'm gonna dry this. And I can see here where I might need a little bit more. Where it's a little lighter there, so you can go back sometimes with white and do a couple of coats. But if you put your brushes in water, it will ruin them if you leave them, these liner brushes. I've also done that. So see, I'm starting here, so I'm going to put my... So I'm doing this second coat, and then I'll show you. I'll go over it with the sandpaper, and it'll blend it a little better. Some people use Posca pens or markers to close the bridges. It works really well on fabric. But you just have to play with it. Black is super easy. Like black just is amazing. So I'm just doing that second coat there. And it already looks so much better with that second coat. And then let me rinse my brush off. They are heavy. Thank you, Dorothy. I appreciate that. So let's just give it a little brush or a little thing here. If you haven't sprinkled yet, make sure to sprinkle. This is the prize right here. So we'll pick somebody at the end of the live. Let me just make sure this is dry. And then you can either just take, I'm not going to finish the whole thing. I'll do that after the live. A little piece of paper again, and you can kind of sand in those areas, and it really does blend it in better. And then you can also, like I said, put the stencil back over top and stencil again, and it'll blend in with it a little better sometimes. But you just got to work with it. But it distresses it a little bit, but it looks so pretty. And then just that one there. It looks so nice. But what do you think about this sign? Let me turn you, I guess, this way. Pull you up. Let's see if I can make this work. And so this is going to be the sign right here. But look how cute this is. Hopefully my Spanish moss stayed on. But I just love this. So love grows best in little houses just like this. And it's got the little dot. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh my goodness. I had painted this. I don't know if I'm going to put it on yet or not. I have to think about that. I'd have to distress it. I may or may not put this on, but if you wanted this to look like the little perch, let me bring this up a little bit more. This is probably a 1x12. It was a scrap piece of wood I had laying around. I got to get rid of this tissue paper. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put it down here. So look at that. Look how cute that is. I'll do that after the live because I'm going to distress it. But see right there? And I will distress this the little base too. And can you see there? So what I'll do is I'll probably nail gun it, or I'm not sure. I could also put dowel rods in there, like 3 of them, nail gun it, and I may or I may not. We'll see. What do you guys think? But I do have this. I forgot I had cut that up to put on there. But I think that would look cute on it. What do you think? Yeah, so with the little bottom and then just going up, look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? I'll put the bottom on. I'll put that on after the live. I almost forgot about that, guys. So what I would do is I do have my nail gun over here. Like I said, I would probably wood glue it, clamp it, and nail gun it from the bottom. Or I could use, I have this dowel rod setter thing. I could put dowel rods in it and set them too, but I really like this. I love everything about the colors and just everything. I'm in love. So sorry, I didn't, I'm sorry I'm not used to this angle. But so this is it. This stencil is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and an additional 15% with my code Sign Shack. The daisies I used from that big daisy, they are not on sale, but you can grab them if you don't have them for another 15% off. I'll list the colors that I used on tomorrow's post with it. But thank you so much for stopping in. Let me get the stencils I was going to show you. We'll have a little show and tell, and then I will I'll pick the winner. Well, April will pick the winner, and we'll tell you who it is. So these are some I've gotten recently. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Judy. I didn't even know you were there. Hello, sweet friend. Thank you, Julie. Took me to figure out. Sometimes it takes me a while to figure out. I go back and forth with things like, ooh, should I do this? Should I do that? Stuff like that. Oh, this is a painting my grandson did the other day. Isn't that cute? Yesterday, he was practicing blending paints and stuff like that. I just saw that because I had it setting over there. I did. These are the, I'll show you this real quick, too. This is that Love Never Melts. If you have that stencil, this is the glass block that I did the other day. And I ran, you can see the lights in the back. They're on with band strips, but this is super cute. What size is my board? My board was a 1x10, Tammy, and I cut it 41 inches long, I believe. Let me measure it again. 1x10, and I'm pretty sure, and the roof is the big paint sticks. And the bottom that I'm going to do after the live is, yeah, it's 41 inches. 41, yeah, about a little bigger than 41 inches, about 41¼ inches long, but it's a 1x10. Okay, so these are a couple things I'm going to show you that I've recently got. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So this is what I store my stencils in. I get them on Amazon. They're portfolio books. They're Suez. Oops. Oh, thank you, Lois. That's very sweet. So they're Suez. It's SOOEZ. And I can post a link with these afterwards. 12x18 is my favorite size. And it's the one I use most. But I do have other sizes too. But it's a nice big portfolio book. And I hope things don't fall out. This is why I had to get another one because I was running out of space. But if you can, I'll angle it down. If you look down, you can see how nice they are. It's got black paper in it. And with these white stencils, you can see them so nicely, and it's really nice to just flip through them really quickly, just like that, and you can just see what you have. I was storing them on clothing racks and stuff like that, but then I ran out, and then I just label them. Like this one, I have a label maker. So this one is Christmas. And I have a smaller Christmas one and a Christmas just specifically with minis in it. And they're really easy. They do get a little heavy. They're so much easier to store and to glance at and get from. Yes, I'll put a link in a different post after the live. Give me just a little bit, but I will. So let me turn you back around here and I'll show you. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I could just angle it down. That might be even better. So this is, I'm so glad you have me. I thought this was really cute. Number 9270. I'm so glad you have me. I don't know. It cracked me up when I saw it. So I thought that was really cute. It's a mini. It's 5.5 inches. I'm so glad I have all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and sprinkling us and supporting us. It's very, very appreciated. Yeah, after this live, I'll create a separate post. It'll be on my Shard and Sign Check page. You'll just have to go to it and I'll create a link. So this is Texas Raised. My daughter-in-law is from Texas. So I made an Ohio one for my son. And I've been using the heck out of this. Remember the freebie we got? The little heart, I have used them a lot, and I've been using the little heart for like locations. It's just the littlest bitty heart, and I've been using it a lot for these little minis with the states on them. Thank you. So Texas Raised, this is 10320, 5.5 inches, and if they don't have your state, she doesn't have all of them, you can ask her, and I don't know how soon she can get to it, but she would get your state on it. She's got quite a few. So we've got that. I'm so glad you have me. And then this one I did for her for Christmas. I did one for Josh and one for Katrina, Texas home, but I wanted to get the Texas Raised. She's so cute. And this one I love. I think I did a live, not on this, but this saying, and it was a flower box. And I'm pretty sure it said on the box, this is one of the sayings, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. But how cute is that? Little mini, 6775, and it's 5.5 inches. Yes, they get very heavy. And then this is adorable. Love has 4 paws. Love has 4 paws, and it's 9270, and it's a 5.5 inch one. And then this one I've been wanting to get for a while, and I don't know why I never got it, but I finally got it, and it is just the cutest little guy. It's a mushroom, little mushroom. Reminds me of like the 70s, kind of retro feel to it. And it's Grow Your Own Way, which I associate with Go Your Own Way with Fleetwood Mac. So that's what I think of in my head. I start singing that song when I see this. But I think it's really cute. It's got an overlay to make all your mushroom look super cute, but it's a cute one. And then I'm getting these stencils. Let me set them over here. And then this I thought was gorgeous. This is, I think, an older one. It's 6524, and this is a small, and this is A. I think there was an A and a B, but this is a compass, and I thought that was really pretty. That would make a nice background, real soft background, travel ideas, stuff like that, travel adventures, anything like that. And I think I've just got 2 more here. I love this one. 3289, and this is an 8 inch, and it's Peace, Love, Rescue. So Peace, Love, Rescue. How cute is that? I have a girlfriend who she rescues dogs, and she always has a dog in her home that she's, now that song's in your head. It'll be in my head all night too, but it's a good song. Love me some Fleetwood Mac. Okay, this is number 10339 medium. And this is the Celtic, the shamrock, right there, the stained glass. And I can't wait to do that. I'm going to make a garden flag out of this one. And I'll do it like double-sided. So, oh, the stained glasses are so fun. I have a couple here. Behind me, I have my snowman that I just, see, is it in the, I don't know if you can see the snowman. I have my snowman here that I just did. And I've got, let me see if I can get it out here without this toppling like Jenga blocks. I can. So this is the snowman I just did, stained glass. And you can just Google like stained glass, the 8th. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. So Kathy says, just finish the shamrock. Make sure to use the 1/8 inch brush. So yes, looking at that, that makes total sense. And then the snowflakes on the back. I've got, Dorothy, if you message me, I think I can send you a link of one of the garden flags, wooden garden flags that I made. I think I've uploaded one to Facebook. Or not Facebook, but to YouTube. I can send you a link of that. So we've got our little snowman there. And then I've also got the, so look at all the pretty stained glass ones. They're just gorgeous. And then this is the cardinal one here. Look how pretty that is. So the stained glasses are just amazing. And then of course, I'm just thrilled with this. This is the one I made tonight. And I'll put the little roost, I don't know what you call that, the little ledge, roost, whatever, on the bottom of it after the live. So I totally forgot about that. I'm really forgetting this camera. So, but thank you so much for joining me. April's going to pick the winner now. I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you've sprinkled and written sprinkled in the comments. We're going to have a drawing now of the winner. As soon as, there goes Sherry. I was waiting for Sherry's drum roll. Whoever she picks is going to get this stencil right here. Just make sure to message her at the Stencil Smith. Or, thank you, Danica. Thank you, Tracy. April spinning the wheel. Hi, Mitzi. It landed on Maureen McCarthy-Vonick. So, Maureen McCarthy-Vonick is the winner. Oh, thank you, Casey. That's so sweet. Honestly, it's not enjoyable. It's not a Tuesday if I haven't been with you guys, too. I miss you so much. And I really enjoy doing this and connecting with all of you, and I appreciate all of you tuning in. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to April, I know, and Pete. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week for another fun live. I keep forgetting where the camera is. We'll see you next week. I'll talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye-bye.